Hi, my name is Kyle Flower, and I'm with Serve Wisconsin. We are the Wisconsin National Community Service Board, and we work the AmeriCorps programs throughout the state. And what we're doing is talking with different AmeriCorps members about their service this year and how it's impacted by COVID-19. And today we're talking with Amber. So Amber, how are you doing today?
I am good. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Amber, could you tell us about the AmeriCorps program you're serving with and what your service looked like before COVID-19 started spreading here in Wisconsin?
Yeah, so I serve with WisCorps, which is short for Wisconsin Conservation Corps. And I am part environmental educator and part nature center assistant. And so we were running environmental education programs of all kinds. We do school programs, we do adult programs, we do programs where we actually take our education animals to other groups. We call that the Crittermobile. And then for the nature center side of things, I just assist with kind of the general running of the facility. And then we also do some reservations and things like that. And we're open to the public. And so I kind of just assist the general manager with all of that as well.
Very nice. So you're going out to schools, having schools come to you.
Yeah, so we go to schools, we have schools come to us. We do programs at different sites. Sometimes there's like different youth events going on in the city, and we'll go to different parks around the area and we'll have a booth and things like that. We also do programs with adults. We have demonstration gardens, so those can be used for programs as well.
And then with the spread of COVID-19 over these last few months, how has your service with WisCorps changed?
Yeah, it's kind of changed dramatically. So obviously the schools were closed down, so we haven't had any school programs. And normally spring is pretty busy for us. We have lots of field trips that come to us and things like that. So it was kind of interesting when this all happened. And then of course the Myrick Park Center, which is WisCorps' headquarters, was closed. And so all of our reservations were canceled. And we even have some like city programs that happen in our building, like the park and rec programs. And so those were all canceled. And so it changed pretty dramatically. And then so we have been doing like lesson plans, and we've done some reorganizing of our classroom, because as educators we always want to keep everything, and because you might use it one day and you never want to get rid of it. So we did a lot of reorganizing of our classroom. And then we also this spring established a disaster response crew of AmeriCorps members from various positions at WisCorps. And so we ran it for 4 weeks, and we actually went out into the community and helped with things like the food pantry. We helped deliver packages of food for people that were struggling to find food or struggling to even get to the store if they were in like a high-risk group. We also did some volunteer work where their normal volunteers were lacking because of everything going on. And so we were able to kind of delve into the community a bit and help out while everything was going on. So that was a really cool experience because it's kind of different from my normal job position. So that was really cool to do. And now we've started up summer day camps. We started in June, and so those have been very different as well. We've had to kind of enable some protocols to follow. So we have the kids on carpet squares that are all separated, and we have their own like nature play kits. So they have their own binoculars and their own bug boxes so that they're not touching and exchanging toys and things like that with each other. They have their own like art kit that has their own crayons, their own scissors, anything that they might need. So we kind of deter them from sharing. And also just in the nature center in general, we've removed all of the shareable things. So normally we have this little cubby corner where the kids can play and there's toys and stuff like that. We've removed that. We usually have a computer that people can use. We've had to remove that. So all of those things that kids and people from the public can touch and play with, we've kind of removed those things. And then us as educators, we are wearing masks and things like that. And so we still have a lot of fun, and we have a good time, but we've just been following our protocol. So it's been different. We normally have 12 to 16 campers in summer day camp. And we've probably had about half of that for camp. And normally we even have a wait list of like 10 people waiting to get into a full camp. But this year we've had a lot of people drop out. And so we're about half normal size.
Well, thanks for the continued service during COVID-19 and for that work with the disaster relief crew as well.
Yeah, it was really fun.
And then were you also, if I'm right, were you partnering with the local senior corps in La Crosse to do some of the projects?
Yeah, with RSVP, which is Retired Senior Volunteer Program. And so we delivered a lot of food through them. We helped out like at local homeowners' houses and things like that. So
That's great. So why did you initially decide to serve with AmeriCorps and why at WisCorps?
yeah, so when I was in college, I actually volunteered with WisCorps, and then I was also on a conservation crew. So that was kind of my introduction to WisCorps. And then I found out about the AmeriCorps program that they have. And I just think AmeriCorps is a great way to get involved in the community. I've met so many great people through this position. And this is actually my second term with WisCorps. And so, yeah, I've met a lot of great people along the way. And I've really kind of delved into community and organizations around the area.
So having served these last 2 years, I'm sure there have to be a lot of memories and pieces of your service really stand out. So what are some highlights of your service you might be able to share with us?
Yeah, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I could pick one. I think just doing summer day camps in general are my favorite part of this position, because with the school programs, it's usually for a field trip. So they come for 2 or 3 hours out of the day, and we see a lot of kids during that 2 or 3 hours, and then they're here and they're gone, and you don't really get to know them very well. You interact, and we teach them and we do games and stuff like that, but you don't really get to know the kids. Whereas in summer day camp, it's a week long for 3 hours each day, and you get to really know the kids, and they finally start opening up towards like the middle of the week. The first day is normally pretty shy and they don't really talk to each other, but they start to open up, and it's really great to see the kids interact and like learn. And since I've been doing it for 2 years, we actually have some returning campers, and so it's really fun to see them grow up and like how much they've learned since last year, and it's really cool. So I think that would be my favorite part overall.
That's great. And then with the summer camps, I know that the summer camps are all themed individually, like by different nature animals. Is there any one of the summer camps in particular that's your favorite one to do?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we have so many. This week we did silly swimmers, but I think my favorite one would probably be WisCorps Junior. And so that was an older kid camp for 6, 7, and 8-year-olds. And we worked with various groups throughout La Crosse, and the kids actually got like a taste of the conservation world. And so we actually got to do projects with a group called the Friends of the La Crosse River Marsh. And the kids got to help plant native plants, and they learned about everything with them. And so that was really cool. It was like our own little mini conservation crew. And we learned about like environmental issues and simple things that kids can do to help and things like that. So I think that one was probably my favorite.
That sounds wonderful. That sounds like the kids really got a lot out of that one.
Yeah, it's kind of like helping mold the minds of the next environmental stewards. So it was really fun.
That's awesome. And then Amber, with your AmeriCorps term of service coming in a few months, what are your plans for after your AmeriCorps service?
Yeah, I definitely like to stay in the environmental field. I have applied for a few jobs already. I'm just waiting to hear back right now. So I guess we'll see where it goes.
Sounds great. Do you have any particular avenue of the environmental field you like to work on?
Definitely conservation, I think. I've looked into a lot of DNR positions and things like that in the conservation world. So I think I like more hands-on field work type of stuff. Or, like environmental education is really important as well. So any type of job like that would be really cool.
That sounds great. I'm glad the WisCorps experience is able to help you get a little experience before in that process as well.
Yeah, it's definitely what has kind of swayed my perspective in life. So, because I actually went to school for pre-veterinary science, but now I think I'm going more towards the environmental conservation type jobs. So
that sounds wonderful. Well, Amber, thank you so much for being with us today and for your service with WisCorps these last 2 years.
Yeah, no problem. It's been great.
Well, thank you. We really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today about your service. And we look forward to the continued difference you're going to make for the environment.
Yeah, thank you for having me.